Hey everybody, is Northstarball back already with a set 11 yellow card review. Uh, we were a little behind on the card reviews, but this is pretty quick between videos at least, so that's
I'm
good.
just I'm just blaming Bandai, man. They gave us two colors at one time. There was kind of no reason for that. It was cool, but like they didn't need to do that.
Like even with they delayed it 2 weeks. Like you should have just given us like more space. 2 colors a week, it's hard to keep up, man. Like I don't want to review the cards every day. You gotta do it. You gotta do it all at once, or else it doesn't look as good.
Not only that, but then like you miss pieces because like even now when we did like week of and this one in red are a little different because we've had a lot more we had more time to test them. Um, but when you're doing like week of, it's like you need to still see the whole engine to get an idea of what it's supposed to do because otherwise there's just like key cards. It's like, all right, well, what's the Broly engine before Planet Vampa was known?
Right? It was
Trash.
garbage. Vampa's so good. Well, anyways, yellow, we got some fan favorites. Garlic Jr. making his appearance, which I
I don't
guess
understand.
coincidentally, I think they did this on purpose. He's actually making his appearance in Dokkan Battle too at the same time. They just announced that as well, so something
Probable.
something to track maybe. I don't know.
I'm mostly confused about why everyone is so obsessed with this character. The movie is like fine, and in the show he's garbage.
I think I
I don't
I really don't know.
like, and he's not like a cool character. He's like angrier Pilaf,
He's
and then
Pilaf
and then
but
his
edgy.
and his form, his final form or whatever, is just big buff guy. But with Broly's popularity, I guess IQ is falling every day.
I also was surprised that we got Icarus Gohan in this when like we know Turles is coming up soon because of the AODs. And if anyone saw my prediction video, like Turles is going to come out set 12, which I thought he would have been this set because if they went in order of the Dragon Balls, but whatever.
Mhm.
Icarus is introduced in the Tree of Might movie. So,
I'm mostly just confused because I would have guessed that they would have introduced Icarus just as its own thing, like not necessarily as an archetype, but just like supplementary to a larger one,
like
or
Earthlings.
yeah, or right, they just like print an Icarus card during like a Tree of Might movie, and like it's just fine. But like the fact that this character who's in like 4 or 5 Dragon Ball movies
Something like
is
that, yeah.
now
He only
appearing,
shows up in filler. Like even in the
yeah,
series. He has like maybe
he's
like one scene in a canon episode, but it's like a fillers slide or something. Just
but
in the
and but
background.
even then, it's still just I'm surprised that it got its own archetype. Definitely
Yeah.
not something I could get. At least they went pretty simple. They didn't make it a very complex one. It's skillless.
They easily
Um,
could have with what they did with the leader, but we'll get into that.
absolutely. So we'll just move
We should
forward.
introduce
Probably
ourselves.
introduce. Yeah,
For the newbies out there who don't see the channel too often, I'm Dom and
and I'm Dane.
Dane and Zamasu dude. Uh
Nope,
North
that's
Star
it.
Ball.
I might be a Yamcha dude after our grudge match with Robert. I haven't told our chat about that, but there's something special I'll tell you about later.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I might have to be a Yamcha dude for a regional or something.
Yeah, Yamcha's fine. Did you see our boy Evan's deck list he posted on Reddit?
Uh, I did not, but I'm
60
excited to
Yamcha
look.
tricolor. Ooh,
Mmm,
it's beautiful. Anyways,
perfect.
we're gonna get right into it. Gohan. Um, he has the. This is where where we thought like he could get more intense. Is he has a monster and rider tag on his backside?
It's what?
Yeah,
Ryder
like
does nothing yet.
rider
Which,
does absolutely nothing.
but then again, Eggman brought this up in his little card review. There's scientist as well that also has nothing right now.
Right? You remember when
Um,
they announced set 8? They're like
me-
scientists, scientists.
and their wicked creation.
Like, where's our Bardock BR scientist nerd? Nothing. No scientist support. Because that'd been cool.
Well,
Fool's a cool character.
I agree. And we'll see how that goes, but we'll just go ahead and real quick do this. Front side leader is generic draw and life leader, +5 if you have a skill list, so that's neat. It's a draw 2 leader. You draw a lot of cards in this deck, like a
It's
lot, a lot, a
it's
lot, a
very
lot of cards.
it seems to be like the standard for yellow leaders, like at least good yellow leaders. Broly,
Mhm.
Gotenks, now
1 and
Gohan,
1.
1 and 1.
Noticeably optional life, which is always good.
Yeah.
If it's forced life to draw, then you're in a worse position, especially because this leader doesn't draw and swing on the backside. So the turn you awaken, you want to swing and then awaken during the attack,
Oh yeah.
um, just to draw that extra card. Uh, if it was a 1/1 leader, I think it would generally be better because the deck does a lot with a single energy because of some cards that we'll look at later, as well as obviously Nimbus for defense. Um, but it's a really big advantage of an engine. And then the backside is like effectively, I mean, it's kind of a draw two.
Yeah, it's
You
almost
play a
Hercule.
skillless, yeah, like, well, it's got pluses and minuses. So if you want to, you could just make it like an outright +2 because you could active main, draw one, and then play the yellow skillless Icarus that we'll get to soon, and then combo with it during your attack, and that's a second draw. And that's literally like a draw two +5, which is very powerful. But I think what the intention is just to be more defense, which is great because anytime you can just get an extra 5k at one point during every turn, powerful, both offensively and defensively.
Yep. Also, there's only what 3 monster cards with the tag so
Three
far.
three monsters excluding this leader. Three
Two,
battle
yeah,
cards.
two on color. One is the was it?
Not a terror village
Yeah,
or,
from the
or
set 7.
which is not good, but at least red is the color that you would want to splash if so. And I'm sure there will be some exploration of multicolor and yellow red. The issue is that the unison for the deck is 3 yellow
Oh
specified,
yeah, let's take a
and
look at them.
yeah, and you don't want to spend any turns tapped. Like, you don't even want to spend the first turn tapped out because of how broken this card on the right, Piccolo Bad Omen, is, as well as how powerful um, of an advantage engine Son Goku The Adventure Begins is. Or Saiyan Scions. God, those cards are good.
Yeah, Skillless is becoming a thing, like more than just Kidku. Like,
And I think this was a really good way to do it, because a lot of the issue is like Kidku has been plussing or playing these like 1Ks or these one drop 10Ks, which is neat in terms of like card advantage, but they could never do any damage until the Saiyan Scions came around.
yep,
But now this leader just has, or this unison just has a floating Scion effect of +5 to all your one drops, which is great because it also makes Piccolo a 10k. So if you play this before they awaken, Piccolo's lethal on his own. Otherwise, he becomes a skillless 10k. So 4-star ball makes him a 20. Comboing like your Kid Coos that are on board is also really good. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. Realistically, the Son Goku Forever in Our Memories is just a generic good skill drain for everything 5 and less. Um, Plays 2 skillless per turn, basically a draw 2. That's really good. I know that it like doesn't plus, and so people are worried about it, but it really isn't that big of a deal.
three
Um,
markers, 15. Your hand's huge. You can't combo though, but
but like if they
yellow's
spend any
defensive.
attack, if they spend any attacks going into it, then you basically get to just go, okay, cool. So after I cleared your board, because my board is all 15Ks and 20Ks, and then this higher dragon, right, 25K duel, all you have to do is just establish another one because your opponent can't really play the game. And I think what's going to be really big is that at a regional level where there are stakes, players formulate plans and make decisions based off of the idea that they can do X thing. And something like skill drain, oftentimes they don't think about while they're calculating their defense, going on into like a crackback turn or whatever, where it's like, well, which card am I going to combo with? And they'll forget. And then they go, okay, crap. And now I have to swing 3 times in here. And they made a really suboptimal play. So I think that's where skill drain is actually like its strongest in this game in particular, since every card is already a 0/5.
Yep.
But you can also always just -2. I do this honestly all the time. It's just immediately Nimbus. Just Nimbus. -2, one. You get one battle card attack. Good luck. And if you're playing right Zamasu, okay, no negates on the battle card swing. Tap your leader.
The only thing you have to worry about is the unison, but not too bad.
The 6-drop is really simple. Gets around skill drain. You kill 2 1-drops and then you just replay them again. And then it just pluses 5. So if you look at the cool math, Piccolo Bad Omen goes from a 5k that like plus you 2 cards, and then it becomes a 10k, and then it becomes a 15k skillless card because the other cards on your board are relevant. So this card is really just the only way to really finish the game in the deck, but it's a really powerful one. It's dual attack. It's got monster in case you ever need a one energy 10k. I've done turns where you swing with it, and then you. If this card would be, oh, you know what? You might not be able to move it to your combo area from the battle area.
Which one?
Gohan and Higher Dragon, flying high, because if it would be moved from a battle area, it goes to the warp instead.
Correct.
So, um, that's kind of bad. That changes a play or two that is theory crafted, but regardless, it's super fast to play. It's a big number, dual attack, and then it gets around your skill drain. Throw a chomp on there, and all of a sudden your opponent has no options.
You know what's really fun is that this page right here, like even the vanillas,
This is the whole engine,
this is all that the leader got for support.
which is
This
honestly fine because it's so much better than garlic.
it was great is the whole like week coming up to like building up yellow and even like the final reveal, you were just like, oh, this sucks. Gohan's awful. It has nothing. And then he
Yeah,
played
I
it.
saw all the cards and I was like, wow, this deck's pretty trash. Playing it, and there are more answers as people got more used to playing against it. They
Hmm.
figured out what they needed to do differently. But there are certainly matchups in particular that are like really easy. Hey guys, if you just need a way to beat Invoker, if I got a treat for you.
Yeah, your hand's like twice their
They
size.
it's twice their size. They can't handle the Goku forever in our memories. And Invoker is a lot better at dealing with tall than wide. And so its answer to wide is always Topo.
You
Too
can't
bad
even
Topo's negated.
they
So
can't
you
even
they can basically
invoker.
sensu me. They can yeah, they have no Invoker either. So they can basically sensu beam. And that's
That's
basically
yeah.
their only defense. But that is something you can really easily overcome because if you're playing like Goku Adventure Begins, you have 4-star balls, which are effectively 0 10Ks. The vanillas all become 20Ks if you have both the unison and the 4-drop out, or at least they're 15Ks. You play a bunch of stuff you can just combo with. Your hand is massive. I cannot stress this enough. Your hand turn 2 is like 14 cards in hand. And that's if you go first. Like you just play a Piccolo Bad Omen and you play a Kid Ku turn 1, look for a ball both turns, Piccolo Bad Omen, you awaken on the swing, you might Piccolo again, you might Saiyan Scions. Your hand is just so big.
I like walked by you playing it like proxied, and yeah, I just like, why are you looking through your deck, Dane?
I'm
Like,
like, no.
it was
Well,
stupid.
this is my hand.
I just want to like ask real quick when you brought up Champa, double strike. Are you
You can't
referring?
give it to the skillless. You give it to Gohan and Higher Dragon Flying High.
Thank you. Just double checking. For
Hmm.
those that don't
I think
know,
this
if a card is negated for the turn, like Cold Bloodlust or even the skill drain Goku, Forever in Our
it
Memories,
cannot gain double
yeah,
strike.
because it's still negated. So it's still like you will try to give it double strike, that is still negated.
Mm, which is kind of cool. This is probably one of the best decks to run Mira Champa in because the deck's numbers don't get that high. So if you are fighting a deck that number gets really high, sometimes that can be a problem.
Hmm.
Uh, and then Mira Champa just solves that. So
Um, and then just another thing to point out with the permanent of the unison, there's a lot of debate right now with the wording, but I think written as intended is that
there's just
your
no way.
yeah, no way that your cards are blank. All your cards are blank, and only your opponent's five or less are not, or else it
You
just
printed a
doesn't.
6-drop Gohan on purpose. Like,
Right.
use your brain. I know that you want to be rule sharks and say the ore is in a weird spot. We could get another Bardock ruling. Just play it as intended. The chances that they rule it against that are not very high, and if they do, then they'll errata it to change its text.
Like the ISRs. Like
Mhm.
easy fix. All right. You ready for the boy? Actually, I think we got some random stuff
He's not the
first.
boy. I really don't understand.
You're
But yeah,
yeah
we do have
yeah
random.
random stuff. The Piccolo.
Mini
He's
Cold Bloodlust? Good card.
yeah for with legs, right? He's a
Yeah, it's
demon clan, which comes into effect later, but he doesn't have servant. Eh.
he's just like there will be metas where he is like the best card in your deck. I don't think that's this meta, but it will be relevant, and it plays unisons in rest mode with their skills negated.
Maybe Clash of
Or
Fates, Namekians,
no, not in rest mode.
maybe who I don't. Yeah,
If Namekians get more yellow support, sure.
yeah. I like
But
it's not bad, but it's just kind of
it's
like it's that super where you're gonna pull and be like, okay.
okay.
Krillin, he's the rare, which is really funny. Sorry, Yellow, you got like the worst art on yours. Just
Well,
Krillin
I
like
think they got some of the best art. It's just not cool art.
right. It's just Krillin getting owned. At least it's an
Just
Earthling. That's cool support.
the life
Um,
squeezed out of him.
yeah, he's getting wrecked. And his suit, oh my god. God, if they don't get the suit Krillin in the tournament pack or like the expansion, I'm gonna be sad. Um, Pan, blocker, cantrip, cycle, cool. And Super Ice Ray, which was
Probably
cool.
probably not the color that is going to be best.
Which one?
Like I would bet that yellow is probably the color that benefits the least from the yellow cantrip here.
Yeah, because they have so much other
Um,
stuff.
they have a lot of other cards that keep advantage, and so this doesn't really matter to them. Whereas something like blue is obviously like Vegito's broken, and then green, dormant potential plus blocker is a really common strategy. So
Yep. So
we'll
it's
see.
still nice to have the whole cycle. I think even did Black even have one? I actually don't remember.
No,
I don't think so actually. They had a
did
rare at
not.
least, but we'll get to that next stream video.
Maybe
Um,
later today. We'll figure it out.
maybe Super Ice Ray, Crush Your Ball, but for unisons
And four and less.
and four or less.
Which for unisons is effectively all of them.
Yeah,
Very
well,
few people are going to cast unisons for more than four. Um,
besides
as is
Blue Goku, but
yeah,
spoilers.
and the blue baby, which we'll get to in the blue cards. But right,
Hmm.
that's such a niche situation. You just side out this and do
Real
something else
Crusher Ball,
instead. Well, but
right?
Crusher Ball won't.
Yeah, it's just nice. It hits unisons that are offensive focus, like Vegix decks. Give it double strike. I mean, at that point, it's already on board, probably.
Yep, but you could at least just like respond.
Yep. And then AOD. Ooh,
Very good.
don't want a 25k double strike crit coming at you after your board getting blown up.
Hmm.
All right. And then we got the Shadow Dragons. Like we guessed, each set they're just gonna be here, and I kind of like how it's just the cycle of the ball, little form, big form with
I think it's
evolve.
mostly just. I agree that that's like the best way. I think it's just gonna suck because it means that the yellow next set will once again be like this set and get less cards. Gohan is literally 5 cards,
But if you
and
watched
two
my
of them are
video,
skillless.
I said
Oh
yellow.
yes,
Yellow was gonna be Omega Shenron, so more that fits the leader.
it could just fit all of that. Yes,
Yes,
I did actually watch it
it's,
yesterday
it's
on the way
yeah,
home
my
from Battle
first
Clubs.
solo. Spread my wings.
Solo vid, spread the wings. I mean, I haven't done any solo, so
No.
that's fine.
Uh,
We can just talk real quick because they're all pretty simple.
yeah. The thing with the balls is that they're not named the character like they were in the first set, so they might change that for the first set 10 because it's like this one's
Hmm.
named 3-star ball, this one's named 7-star ball, and then if you go in the DBS card game like card list, they actually have those names in there, like 1 through 7 star balls. So that
Hmm.
could be a rad out for the Sin and Haze Shenron balls, and then we got the little. They do like basically the same thing. I think it's exactly the same thing, right? Can't affect them, and they just
And
play a
then
dude.
they play the new ones.
Yeah.
In this case, though, they
Oh,
actually both specify of two costs, if I recall. They don't actually say between. So that
yep.
doesn't look like they're
And
planning
these
to
ones
give
are free.
options.
These ones are free.
Yeah, and they don't cost an energy. So
Yeah.
turn one, you can play 15k body, which is like fine. Um, Ice is clearly the best. This is going to be a four of in every Shenron deck, because just why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's why it's the super rare also.
Your opponent is likely not going to have an answer turn one to anything, so you might as well just do this. Uh, on
It's
top
really
of
nice
that,
effect too. The activate main to discard it and just play any of the Shadow Dragon balls.
that's the best part is just picking the one from deck that you want, which means that you can cut your numbers of the balls so you aren't drawing them
You
later
can
game.
actually run Jiro super combo and just set your drop.
Hmm. Um, just seems like a very good card. Obviously, it's a 15k body for when you play your big turn, so that's really important. It evolves. The counterplay is useless. Is it free, Dom?
No, it's not. You can't EX evolve a counterplay. Like counterplay, pay EX evolve cost, play it. Not the same.
There are a lot of questions around this card for some reason.
No, he's just a four
Um,
cost counterplay, which in
it's
Sin can be doable. It's just not likely.
you're just not gonna.
You're gonna
You
do the
could just
two.
Eki for four.
Yeah, Meki for four.
Um,
Naturon. I think he's decent. Like he's good. Recycling like
but there's
the
just not
pieces.
really a reason to. The only one that you want to put back in your deck is basically the four drop Sin Shenron.
Hmm.
But at that point, if you've already exhausted all three, you kind of just change your game plan rather than running an entirely different one. What I think is likely is that you'll probably run two of the Super Natron
Yeah, that's a beast.
because it's a 20k dual attack when you play it, and you're just gonna wait to do it with your leader skill.
And that
And
yeah,
that's
and that recycles. Like that's gross. Zero
like
five
it's just
k. Mm.
yeah. And then I think when you combo with that, there's another skill,
Yeah, you can pay one to play the
like
seven
the
star
ball.
negative ball,
Yeah.
which then gets you
Uh,
the two drop, and then you can put the four drop back in your deck. It's like anti synergistic with like the big play, but like it helps with always having to play with the energy balls. Plus, we still got like three more coming, so maybe it helps those too. So we'll see. Toolbox,
mhm.
Dragon Toolbox. That's all it is. Now we got the boy, the spicy
Really gotta
boy.
stop. Okay, that's better. But we gotta stop calling him the boy. I really am not understanding where these garlic fans are coming from.
I don't either. So he's one of the Overlord Servant decks. It's a fun keyword thing they're trying. I think
Little underpowered at the moment.
yeah, it's only really good in Majin Vegeta so far because like spamming it,
You've
but then it's like they basically I get like they shoehorned the keyword just to make it work. They could have just said put Vegeta at the bottom, draw a card, and then like it play a Vegeta from bottom of your deck. But
mhm,
whatever. Draws one. He awakens if you have four or less or three costs unison in play, but it's hard. Three is such a big number compared to two to awaken.
mhm. In particular because this deck's monster line, if you'll call it that, boss line, costs four in total to play, including a three drop and a one drop,
It's
which is
slow.
not. Yeah,
It's
you
a
just
little too slow.
can't afford to do it.
The awaken's cool with the it's
And
so when your
yeah,
opponent attacks, it doesn't negate the attack. You just sort of play a dude. But then that fits
which
in with
is
the
really good.
unison. Yeah, you want dudes on board for this deck. Like you want to try to always have four demon clans. When we'll see that in a second why, but you always want to try to have like four dudes on board, at least two for your baby unison to get the fact of plus 5k, your leader and your unison. But like,
And you get to draw cards on going back to your turn.
hmm It's just
It's
like
very good.
it's missing like
The
a
cards that are in it are
thing.
bad.
It's just missing like one cog in the machine to make it go.
Hmm.
Like I feel like it's almost all there. Like if you look at it, we got the baby super combo, unison. Sorry, not super combo. He's a blocker and he restands himself, which is cool for plussing. Plus restands
Hmm.
at the end of the turn. Like okay, and if he was a 20k blocker, sweet. That's his permanent, but yeah,
Like it's a fine card. Just I think yellow has some pretty solid unisons as is because you're gonna tap out the turn you play him. So Gogeta already does the same thing to your leader,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
Gogeta has like a great cycle effect and a really threatening -4. So there's just basically no reason to play baby unless you feel like you have to get that turn 3 awaken because your opponent's trying to stall you out.
Yep.
Um, it's okay.
He,
Not going to be a super rare you want to pull.
yeah. Um, maybe outside of the deck if the restanding the dude is interesting. But it's only mono yellow, so like doesn't really fit yellow baby too much because those are all red yellow your finishers.
Yeah,
But servants, you got the blocker. That's actually I like the blocker because you get to free play it
he is
on like
good.
turn one, like a 20k blocker turn one, and you're trying to be defensive, so you can do the alternate awaken. I think is the goal. So it's pretty good. But then you don't want him to die.
Hmm.
Roshi's the main one. When he's
Oh,
played, you draw a
Roshi's
card.
so good.
So yeah, and then you get overlord him to the bottom, and then like when we get to the super rare, he plays one from the bottom of the deck, and so you just like you play Roshi, so you just draw two cards because that's overlording it and then bringing it back.
At the very least, I've heard that 2 energy to draw 2 cards is good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I heard somewhere that that was pretty effective.
Yep. And then Bulma, she's a trap.
This card sucks. Yeah, why does this card exist?
It's
Why
a
isn't she
trap.
play? If the 1 energy was a play, she would probably make the deck work so much smoother.
Yeah, I don't get why it's. Yeah, this
Add
is
to
a
hand.
cantrip ability on a person that's like cost two, but then you
But
have to
then
pay
it's
one
not a
for it.
cantrip. I was gonna say it's not a cantrip. It's a
But this is like what most
potential.
cantrips have too. It's so dumb.
It's
Um,
it's not good.
so like you would do the Mechio Star. We're gonna get that. It like free plays a dude. So like turn one you would play Bulma, and then like turn two
Search for
pay
something.
search for something, use that energy, and then free play the Yamcha. I'd rather free play the Yamcha first, or the Roshi
Or
and
maybe
draw a card.
you can servant grab a demon clan, or skill grab a demon clan, and then servant her, and then that triggers another one in your hand to free play it. But it's still not good.
But you want more dudes on board. Like you want as many as you
Exactly.
want because this energy field card is insane if
Like
it can work.
actually,
It's
yeah.
a free Nimbus,
But it's
like
better
straight
than
up
Nimbus because
free.
it's just once per. It's just one more attack, and it negated the attack. So it's like if dormant potential negated the first attack,
Yeah, and
except it doesn't cost a card in hand
all it
and or any
needs
energy.
all it needs is four demon clans, yellow demon clans, cards in play, and your opponent can only attack one more time when you negate the attack. You can always negate the attack for one. You can't activate more copies, so that's like the little whatever. But you have four Nimbus for free, and it's totally free if you have four demon clans in play. You just play it
Mhm.
without paying energy. It's so good, but it's so hard to keep four guys on board early on. With
Nobody has barrier. They're all low energy, low power cards.
if like Bulma read like Ox King instead of that activate main, that'd be better.
Giving the Demon Clan barrier.
Giving two drop or lower demon clans barrier. I think that'd be
I
great.
concur. Super Water of the Gods. Again, maybe one day it'll be good.
Yeah. Choose one of your battle
If
cards, servant, negate it,
the issue
restand.
is that in this deck in particular, it's not good on Bulma or Roshi because the whole point is like, okay, well they're a swing, okay, but then they become 10Ks if they lose Servant, so they're not a lethal swing.
Right. You
Yamcha's
just
good
pay
because
one.
1 energy to block, but you might as well just run an actual negate instead.
Hmm.
Likewise, in other decks where the servants are like actual servants and they're little like this, and then they get boosted, they don't. It just doesn't do enough. So maybe in the future it's fine. Right now
Yeah.
it's not great.
If they keep the servant mechanic going, that's one thing I didn't mention in my last video, if that was going to be a thing or not. I don't know. It feels weak right now. Minus like the
It,
fact servant can like.
it could be used if you're going off your prediction that you have King Piccolo in red. That could have servants. As could
Hmm,
Turles. Turles could have servants.
I guess
His
so.
his
Like if you
his
count the.
misfit
Yeah, I count
his
those guys as
misfit
servants.
minions.
We'll see. I think Overlord and Servant. I like Servant because it gives like extra value to a card based on its energy, like more power. Like these are basically vanilla stats with effects that are good, minus Bulma.
They
Um,
just draw or they can't restand, so like single
right.
time use.
And then they're also more vulnerable to more counterplays. Like I get that idea. I like that idea, like balancing a card.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's the servants. Here's the spice. They all have the
Dice
same
sword.
auto, except the super combo. I don't know why one's a super combo. I guess it's searchable. That's nice. It's just generic super combo.
You never want this card to be played.
No.
You can't be playing super combos this day and age if you don't have to.
Except AOD. But these autos of you pay 1 yellow if your leader's Yellow Demon Clan. If you activated Overlord, play the card. I think only
Which is like
Vinegar is the
fine
only one you can play multiple of for the
because
turn.
because he has an auto on play.
Yeah, he's the best one. He plays another Demon Clan from the top of your deck.
Well, arguably Gasu is
Oh,
better, but
Gasu
he
because
has a single time use and then
yeah,
he's done.
Gasu basically you'll always have Mekiostar like in your opening hand, like almost always. Because Gasu, you discard him, grab Mekiostar. The deck
I think.
kind of
I
really
mean, I
needs
think the deck.
Mekiostar.
I was gonna. Well, beyond that, I think the deck would immediately be better if it just played Magiostar or activated it, or if the leader just started with it in play. I don't
Yes,
really see why it wasn't this way, because now you have to spend your first turn doing nothing. And yeah, you probably weren't gonna do a lot that first turn, but like there are options. There are things you could do.
at
Save that
least
energy for defense.
at least it's like a generic like first turn play, like play a tutor. Because the Mekiostar when it's played, it tutors a
Mhm.
5 card, a five top five for a Demon Clan. And it's any yellow Demon Clan, so that's good. And then
Mhm.
this card at the end of your turn free plays a Demon Clan, cost 2 or less from your hand, but with the skill negated for the turn, which is really annoying when you try to like do Roshi.
Roshi.
Like just let me Roshi.
Or getting the autos of Tardo or Vinegar.
Right, because
Like
these
I
guys
don't
are
I think
good.
if they were I think if they weren't negated, it still wouldn't even be that great.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a kick in the face.
So
Because Tardo, I think Tardo's actually pretty good. Like when he's played, your opponent can't resand a card, a battle card.
and then Vinegar free play, so Vinegar becomes like Raccoon in the Ginyu deck.
Yeah,
But
and
those skills aren't negated. What the heck, Bandai?
right. Tardo, I think could be like the main early game strategy of just like locking your opponent down if you want to play super defense, but it's so hard. Like it's like I said, it's missing like one thing, but we'll see. Tournament packs are announced next week. Maybe we'll get
We'll
something
see.
good. Expansion set comes out after set 11 drops. They have like a card per color to support some decks, so hopefully something. And then Garlic Jr. himself, indestructible in yellow. That's cool.
It's a good card.
It fits the theme or lore. Like he got his wish. He's immortal. He's like one of 2 characters to get that wish to actually to come true. Isn't it?
Um,
I don't think Piccolo.
no, he wished for eternal youth.
Yeah, so he's just younger, but he's not immortal. I think it just might be
Uh,
Garlic.
it might just be Garlic. Yeah,
No, no,
they create.
and Zamasu.
He doesn't wish to be immortal. He is.
No, one which is for an immortal body and one which is to switch bodies with Goku.
Mm,
That's why it gets all purpley at the end.
got it.
Come on, you're the
Okay.
Zamasu guy.
Sorry. I never said it was that coherent.
Yeah. The 3-drop you want to try to play on turn 3 every turn, which is counterproductive with the unison. Oh, I guess
That's that I think is the
you can do it
biggest
turn
pain.
4, but turn 3 is fine because he has deflect and indestructible. Like he's not really gonna go anywhere unless you're like playing against red.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I think that's the problem. Notable that it has Overlord.
it does, so you can overload
Um,
twice, but then
this deck can actually play.
you lower your demon clans on board though, which sucks.
Yeah, but you
That's the
can
hard part.
actually pretty reasonable um, servant like 3 times in one turn if you
Yeah,
like have been set up properly.
that's pretty good. He also, I kind of wish he wasn't like if your leader's yellow, like just make this generic. Like when this card's played, you're during your opponent's next turn, your leader and unison don't take damage from
I'm
attacks
actually
with double and
so
triple.
I'll slight change what you said. I would be okay if it said yellow leader, but
Yes,
not yellow clan.
I definitely could get behind yellow having the theme of like taking less damage.
Because I mean that's the kind of control yellow is. It doesn't remove anything. It just stalls and stops.
Yeah, I could get behind that. Like, then this is like if they swing with the double strike, it's not like oh I don't take two, I just take one. You take none.
You take none, which is so much better.
It's like it's really cool.
5-drop is really good. Like this card is really, really good. The issue is that it's stuck in garlic. So you evolve for 1, it's unique, indestructible, crit, and that means that you're probably going to run 2 Champas in the deck because the
Crit.
40 double on an indestructible is pretty good.
hmm
Um,
Still has
and
overlord.
then
So you can do yeah, you
still
can
it still
overlord
has
three
overload. You can
times.
do it 4 times
Four
because
times?
you can front side leader, back side leader,
Yep.
little garlic, big garlic.
Yep.
Um, but then
That's their
once
whole
per
board.
turn, you just free play a card from the bottom of your deck. Man, if only there was a card that also got you plus for being play. Oh, there's Roshi. And so Garlic plus Roshi is a draw 2 engine every single turn, as well as a 20k body swing.
So basically, garlic is the new Bojack Brigade because once it gets rolling, it snowballs
It
so hard. Because now with this on the board and you have Mech Star, and then if your opponent swings at you, you can drop 3 more Demon Clans just
per
in
turn,
play.
basically.
Then afterwards, you play all the Spice guys by overlording.
And like it's just really powerful. The big issue is still just you have to get there.
It's so
You're
hard to get
playing a
there.
the energy is really awkward and counterintuitive to like what it's supposed to be. And the idea I'm sure that they had was like, okay, well, you play your 3-drop unison and then you awaken and you keep 1 up for defense. And then in turn 4 you tap out to play Garlic Jr. Overload of the Dead Zone, and then you have 4 demon clans, so you're good to protect yourself.
Yeah, are they
What they
not
didn't take into
thinking?
account
Like they're not
that
thinking. They just pop all your dudes on their turn.
remove 1 card along the way, and that turn 4 with easy protection is gone. 1 card is all it takes
It's
to
rough.
remove.
I played my only games of Garlic Jr. I played against Dark Broly, and he just has that guy just like warp one of your opponent's Val cards. Neat.
It's just
Goodbye,
there's just too many answers. They're not
bye
like they have
Yamcha.
low energy cost, low power, with no protection. So there's just really not a lot going for it right now. And I'm sure it's possible that they could like print a singular, like they could probably just print another Garlic Junior 3 cost in the tournament pack and save the entire deck. Like that
Probably.
literally would probably like that alone could be enough. If there's a way to get a 3-drop Garlic in for 1 or 2, probably saves the entire deck
Or just
because it means on
more
turn
ways to keep playing dudes or keep them safe.
keep them safe is a big piece.
I kind of
Which is
wish
why I
we
know
had
you've been
another Unison.
testing. Which is why I know you've been testing Ox King.
I've been
Um,
thinking about it, but he's a turn
and
two. Is he? I think he's a 2-drop. which then it gets
I
kind
think
of it's two or one.
either way,
It's still
either way,
he's not a demon clan, so it sucks.
like it's not that synergistic. The leader's close, but we can move on.
I think
We're ragging on
I think
garlic.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Our
Um,
fastest video because there actually
yellow
wasn't a
is
lot.
well. I mean, we had an archetype we already explored. We had a skillless archetype, which there's just
Yeah.
literally less things to talk about. It's just I have a lot of cards. Does it have enough cards? And I do think it has enough cards. I think there are going to be matchups that literally just can't deal with Gohan, which
Yeah.
is really neat.
Gohan's
Um,
insane. Or Gohan's fun. And it's
I would.
good.
It's very fun and it's like
It's fairly I
solid.
think it's fairly fair too. Like yeah,
It
you
is.
can't do your early plays as well, but there are ways around it. Like you're still playing like it's only a 15k that can't gain markers if you
Hmm.
really need your abilities. And then your opponent's playing a lot of weenies, and there's a lot of decent board control now, like that Mass Saiyan that was
Yeah,
released, and
and that one
like
really hurts that deck because they go to warp
yeah, so
as
like
opposed to the drop.
there are definitely ways around it. And then like yeah, Clash of Fates, we got Cargo, Papa Skillless.
There's
That's
just a
fun.
lot of good cards.
Oh, the villainous card too.
Get the villainous card, but that's better for popping your opponent's stuff because then it just clears your opponent's board, and then you're like, okay, we'll go kill it.
Yeah, and also playing against it.
So it's like neat. Yellow seems okay. Probably the weakest yellow has been in like six
Bojack.
sets. Five, yeah, probably since Bojack, right?
Like
Bojack Gohan,
like just based on what's in a set, because like
because U
around
seven,
that
baby,
Broly was still a thing. Like
and
when Set Six came out, the yellow Broly leader, so like yellow was still strong. Like, but per set wise, this is the weakest yellow has been in a set since Bojack.
which is really odd. Which is like fine. Yellow has been the best color in the game for a long time.
Hmm.
Whether it was supported by blue or red, that kind of is there, but it's still been the best color until this last set for a very long time.
Yeah. So cool. Hopefully soon we'll get blue, black and then blue.
Black and then blue,
I
yes.
think that would probably
We'll
be the best
go
way
in
to do it.
actual release order.
Yeah. I know. I think those two colors are probably the most hyped this set because what was red was basically a repeat
Broly,
of set
Vegeta,
six.
and then green was
Vegeta
green is like
Gotenks.
Gotenks is a very powerful deck and it's fairly fun. It's just not a very interesting deck. It doesn't do anything new. It's just like
It's pretty streamlined,
we're just gonna
which
play
is not
big
bad.
cards. Yeah. Big cards, draw cards, pass.
And Vegeta's our aggro deck of the set, so like super aggro deck of the set,
Mhm.
which is you can't talk too much about it because it's aggro. It's
Uh,
fun. Yellow,
Basically, thanks
yeah.
for joining. Yellow seems okay. I've been Dane.
Yes, Dom. See you guys soon. Stay safe.